Howdy, howdy. Sorry. I just updated my OBS and they changed how the audio mixer looks and I hate it. I was trying to figure out, I couldn't find out how to unmute myself. Moosey, so true. She's back, she's brought us all con flu so we can be sick at work. I fully expect to get sick. I was next to so many people coughing like crazy and I was like, oh, it's over for me. I'm toast. It's so over. But I slept really good last night. I went to bed as soon as I got home. Slept a full 8 hours. I took my vitamins this morning. I'm gonna try to fight it off, but I also know who I am. You still have Big Chungus on screen, by the way? Yeah, I know. I know. It's an identifier. So that you know who you're looking at. It's like a name tag. But yeah, my Flintstone. I took my Flintstones vitamins this morning. My Flintstones chewables. Hold on. I wanted to use not my BGM for yapping. I wanted to like actually listen to music. So let me know if this is too loud. Let me know if that's too loud. The Big Chungus stays on during stream. Alright, I got all my photos downloaded. I have achieved a rank above even Chungus. I've become more famous than even Bugs Bunny himself. Alright, I got all my photos. Oh, I didn't resize them though. Hold on. I was trying to be so prepared. Sarah got mad at me for going out all day yesterday, so she peed on my bed while I was gone. And so I was washing my sheet. I was trying to get my sheets washed and also make sure she wasn't gonna do it again. Oh, wait a minute. Does OBS not like the... Does OBS not like the weird iPhone photo format? I didn't even consider that. I bet if I send them to myself in Discord and resave them, that should reformat them to JPEGs. How dare Mummy not carry her everywhere? Yeah, she has no patience, no tolerance. Oh yeah, it doesn't like the HEIC files. Alright, hold on. You can only upload 10 files at a time. Oh, come on now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have to set it in iPhone to save as non-HEIC? It's interesting. I don't know how to do that. Hold on. I'm sending them to me in Discord because Discord saves them as JPEGs. So it's an easy conversion. Said make a new folder. What are you doing? Not responding. Someone come take a look at my computer. Someone come take a look at this piece of garbage. On everything just crashed. Let's go. All I wanted to do was make a new folder to save the resized or the new file format. Folder. Go. And code. No, why is it saving it as HCCs? Wait, what's a better way to do this? The might of Windows 11. I know that's true. Maybe, oh, maybe what I can do. Hold on. New idea. Sort by name. And is there like a gallery view? Oh, kind of. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. This is so janky. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. What is this? I don't wanna start a slideshow. Hold on. Visual search with Bing. Oh, stream chat, thank you. Computer is so hard. Post-vacation slideshow needs to make a comeback. I agree, actually. Automatic. But I didn't transfer them to my PC. I uploaded them to Google Drive. Okay, give me a second. I don't know how to transfer. Because every time I try to plug my iPhone in, it's like, don't you want to have iTunes? And I'm like, kill yourself. Or is that TOS? I'll say it again. Sorry, Twitch. Save a copy. Unable to save HEIC photos in their original format. Based. That's what I want. Perfect. That's what I'm asking for. Okay. Okay, I got it. I got it. Okay. We're in. Hacker voice. Hacker voice, we're in. One thing I will warn you is there's definitely a lot of random people in my photos. Because I obviously was not gonna be in any of my photos. But I wanted to take photos of some of the cool stuff, but people were always like posing with it. And I had a hard time dodging around people posing with things, so sometimes there's just like a random person in the photo posing with something. In every single instance of that, I do not know who that person is. So shoutouts to random people. Any of them could be VTubers. Every VTuber didn't stream yesterday was here, yeah. It was cool. I will say that, it was quiet. So I went to PAX East. I went all the fucking time. I went for a long time. So I went, I want to say, I went every year, and I went the full 3 days. I went the full 3 days every single year from probably 2011 to 2020. I want to say. So I am a very experienced PAX East attendee. I know the convention center really well. She's been going since the expo only cost that penny. That's true. Yeah, it got real expensive. It's actually a little bit better this year than it was. I think 2020 was starting to get crazy, but it was really interesting because yeah. So when I used to go, it got bigger and bigger every year. When I was like a more regular attendee, and it was getting like overwhelming for me And there was always like a huge rush for badges. So, like badges would drop and everyone would be trying to get the 3 days. And then if you couldn't get the 3-day, you would be grabbing each of the individual days rapid fire. You would have to buy Saturday first because that was the most in demand, and then Friday, and then Sunday. So it was a crazy, like, everyone wanted to be there and wanted badges and was begging for extra badges. Yeah, you had to call out of work to get 3 days, and the queue lines were always broken. And then you always had like a million scalpers outside. Like, hey, you want a 3-day badge? You want a Saturday badge? It was to that degree where, and so then of course the inside of the convention center was crazy because it was super popular and there was always a million people there, and lines for demos and stuff was usually completely out of control, like capped super early in the day. They had, I'm sure they still have these for the crazy popular stuff, but even like kind of unpopular panels would have line waiting rooms because there were so many people. Yeah, there's no names on the badges, so they are very easy to scalp. And so it was this big, like, cultural thing that everyone was crazy about. And you always felt kind of lucky to have gotten in. Like, I knew a lot of people, so I had a group that I would always go with, but we knew other groups that we were like kind of friends with, but not like stay in the same hotel room or stay together for the convention type friends with. It was like meet up for one meal type of friends. And sometimes like some people just wouldn't get badges and we were like, damn, rip. That it was very different this year. So I only bought a badge for Saturday like a week ago because I wasn't convinced that I was gonna go. I was kind of going back and forth on it, but then I was like, yeah, I want to go. So I casually bought a Saturday badge a week ago, which was already insane because that's not something you were ever able to do. And then when I got there, I pretty much waltzed into the convention center, no line. And well, I mean, it's still very loud, and there's still a lot of people and a lot going on, and people bumping into you. I'm honestly like that the lights and the noise don't send me as much as people bumping into me. People bumping into me is like my shutdown mechanism at a con, and of course it's going to happen all the time. But I think by virtue of being like smaller, people notice me less, and so they just kind of ram into me all the time. And that's what always sends me careening into my mind palace. A scalper get arrested outside Comic-Con when I was in high school. They walked up to a pair of undercover cops, tried selling them tickets. Got all my photos resaved. But oh, don't sneeze, don't do it. Just don't do it. You cannot do it for free. But yeah, so then I kind of waltzed into the show floor and was able to wander across the show floor. Yeah, the show floor was still pretty packed. A lot of bodies, but there weren't really lines. I mean, there were lines, especially like at the Nintendo booth. There's always lines for stuff. Which I thought was kind of I mean, I guess the Pocopia lines are probably for people who haven't gotten the game yet and they wanted to try it out. But the lines were pretty big. But for most other booths, the lines were fairly short. And even for Nintendo, they weren't at the level that I've seen in the past. So I think PAX is kind of, I don't want to say it's like on a downturn, but it was much quieter than it's ever been. And part of that might just be because it's more focused on tabletop now. It used to be tabletop was a fairly small portion of the show floor. This year it was pretty much 50-50. like video games, and then there was a big tabletop gaming section. And you could kind of tell that there was like a different crowd. What has our society come to? So it was kind of interesting that it just wasn't like the extremely eating frenzy type thing that it's been in the past. I also only had to wait like 2 minutes in line to get food, which is also unheard of. But I honestly thought it was kind of nicer like this. I'm sure like the convention organizers would prefer everything was as crazy as it used to be, but it was nice being able to actually look at stuff more, and I got to talk to more people running their indie game booths, and I actually got to buy some stuff, and it wasn't as frenzied as it used to be. Crazy to hear the tabletop scene blew up that much. I think it was the coof that caused the boom. I don't know what it was. Like the show floor, even if you look at the show floor map, it's like 50%. It's pretty much 50-50 now. And the tabletop side of the room was big. Like the booths were big. And so I went over there and I checked out some of the shops. I didn't buy anything. Japanime Games was there. The Oshi Push people. They were there. I came and I took a peek, but they didn't have anything that I didn't buy at Otakon, and so I was like, I had already made some purchases, so I was being good. But another thing that was interesting was I always forget, so like Gamer Subs was there, and I forget that they completely change their branding when they're not at anime shows. So at anime shows, they have those really obnoxious, like, look at how big these titties are. And like, you know that I'm a connoisseur of big anime titty. I'm in no way ragging on big anime titty, but it's like obnoxious branding, you know? Yeah, look how big these chunguses are. And so I'm kind of used to seeing them like that, and I saw like their logo, and I was like, oh, I guess Gamer Subs is here. And I went over to the booth because I was buying something at a booth next door, and all of their branding was like this kind of weird retro game branding. And they had like these little cartoon dudes who were kind of platforming or whatever, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I've never seen like a Gamer Subs booth look like this before. They just change. Yeah, like fake retro gaming. Yeah, they just like changed outfits to suit a new audience because I think they know that the PAX East audience is not the big anime titty audience. It was just very strange. It was like seeing your teacher at the grocery store or something, just seeing something not quite right in a context that it doesn't quite belong in. I wish Gamer Subs a low quality day. But yeah, it was just strange. It was very strange to see their booth like completely not itself. And in, what is it? It's almost April now. So in like 3-4 months, I'm gonna be seeing their Otakon booth, and I'm sure the Yiddies will be out again, and it's gonna be very strange just knowing that they have kind of these two distinct booth identities that they deploy at different conventions. There we go. But it was quiet, I guess, for what I'm used to for PAX. It felt... And I've actually, I was at this convention center, it wasn't last year, but the year before, I was at this convention center for a professional conference for work. And so I've kind of seen it somewhat recently in full swing, and it was much crazier when I was there for the professional conference. And it was weird, I guess. It was weirdly quiet for me. And it kind of came through in like who was there. Like usually Riot used to have a big booth. They weren't there. They were kind of there this year. The League of Legends physical card game had a booth, but like no one was at the booth. Nintendo was the only like monster company who was there. But it was much more, I guess, indie focused and indie. Even if the publisher is big, like publishers who focus on indie games like Blumhouse and stuff, like they had a booth. Their booth was really cool, actually. I have some photos. I'm almost done saving them. Was Tom Nook there? He wasn't. They didn't have a mascot walking around this year, but they did have they had some interactables. Assuming Otakon doesn't boof it so hard, Papa Moose swears it off forever. I'm nervous. We were just talking about this because I called him and I was basically like, hey man, I'm putting in for my vacation days for the rest of the year right now because I now have a week more vacation than I'm used to, and I'm trying to... My boss gets irritable if people take off too much time right at the end of the year because we kind of do some wrap-up stuff before we have... The whole company has a few weeks off. And it's never me. It's always the fucking salespeople who think they're better than everybody. Always take off. There we go. They always take off like the last week of the year and make him really mad. But I was like, I need to get ahead of this because I have everything from just before Christmas to just after New Year's off for free, and then I have a lot of time at Thanksgiving off. And I was like, I need to start planning out now that I have so much time off. I need to plan out where it's gonna land so that I don't get to the end of the year and I'm like, oh fuck, I have to use all of this. So I called him and I was like, yeah, like, we're still doing the same thing we usually do for Otakon, right? Where we're going down Thursday and then coming back Sunday. I was like, I'm just trying to figure out what days to take off. He was like, yeah. And I was like, how you doing? And he was kind of ranting to me about some of the drama around how they're rolling out hotel rooms and how their new lottery system works and how some of the events work now. With the new person in charge. I guess, basically, according to him, what happened is they used to trade con chairs year to year, so that it was always somebody new was kind of like the head honcho. There was never like centralized power. They just kind of like cycled through people so that like different people held responsibility year to year. But then recently, like some chick took over being the con chair, and she just like won't give it up, and she's been kind of like firing people who have been there for a long time and like giving positions of power to her friends and stuff like that, and kind of like making it more of this, it's less like of a group run thing and more of this, like, yeah, a coup is needed. So he was kind of ranting about that and, like, stuff he's been reading on, like, discussion boards about it. But he was pretty much... I was like, I wanted to make sure you still wanted to go, because I know you didn't like some of the changes last year, and I've heard whispers of some stuff not inspiring confidence this year. And he was like, yeah, he was like, I'm still not inspired. My confidence about it is not inspired this year, but I want to experience it for myself. He was like, if it's bad and goes in the shitter, I want to experience it for myself so I can make the the right decision next year. And I was like, I can respect that. So this is a big year, big Otakon turning point for us this year. If it's still good, then we'll keep going. If it's going to shit, then we may rethink our strategy. For better or worse, a gaming event without Sony and Microsoft sounds kind of alien to me. Yeah, it was weird. Like, that was the thing, is the lack of some of the big boys who always were there year after year was very bizarre. It felt like a smaller convention than it used to be, for sure. And that's not all bad, because like I said, the lines are more manageable. You could actually get through the lines for stuff. You could kind of get up more close and personal with a few things. But yeah, it was just, it was odd for what, compared to what I'm used to. I had a good time, but it felt like PAX Light, I guess. All right, finally have images saved. So I got there, and right away I'm gonna make sure I'm clicking the right ones. These are probably gonna be huge. You better believe they are. You almost got a Sunday con experience on a Saturday. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of exactly what it was. It felt like a Sunday, even though it was Saturday. And that's not bad. I'm just sure that today is probably like dead. So I got in, and let's evaluate the individual atoms of Paxies. So I got there, and right inside, right before you head onto the show floor, they had a Nintendo Online check-in booth where you could basically go up and log in as your Nintendo ID. And if you have a Nintendo ID and you log in, they give you free swag. Nice nails, thanks. And so I went and I logged in, and I got this cool, I actually have it right here. It's Spooky Toad facing Mario, Yoshi, and Rosalina. I actually haven't set it up yet. Is this a Mario Wonder thing? I still need to play Wonder. I wanted to stream Wonder. Toad jump scare. It's just super cute. Here we go. Those stupid mask things hate. There. Now I have my little acrylic stand set up. Oh, so yes, they gave out little acrylic stands. They were super nice too. That was the lady who, when I got up to the head of the booth and got, after I signed in and I got my thing, she was like, I just wanted to tell you you're so cute. And I was like, thank you. I have to go die now. Should have gotten her number. They would love these guys in Mario too, I bet. So yeah, so she was really nice. And I got my sweet acrylic stand. And then I wonder if I could actually add all these at once, and then I can resize them all at once. My wife works at Nintendo. My dad works at Nintendo. Well, let me add them all at once. Unless... we go. Some of these are just pictures of games that I wanted to keep track of. But yeah, it won't let me add multiple images at the same time. Yeah, some of these are just pictures of games where I was like, I wanna take a picture of this because I wanna remember this to look it up when I get home. But some of the games, they had like QR codes to their Steam page, and so I went to go wishlist a few games after the show, and there's a whole PAX East section on Steam right now, which made it super easy, so... well, I was gonna look through that, too. The Mario Galaxy movie's dropping on Wednesday, by the way. Oh, shit. I'll probably go... I like going either really late at night on a weekday, because that way I avoid having to deal with kids. Or sometimes I like, if I have a day off or something, I like going in the middle of the day on a weekday. But then sometimes you get even younger kids. So they had a big Pocopia setup. I don't know who these people are. Sorry to these people. They had a big Pocopia setup where you could pose with Ditto and Professor Tangrowth and Pikachu and Pikachu. And it was super cute. You can pose. I like that the dude is wearing, he's definitely wearing like some kind of "it's my birthday" hat. Happy birthday to my mans, whoever this is. I'd steal those standees. Well, there were other standees too. So they had a bunch of individual standees. The Dittos are so good. The others so cute. So they had... God. So many. They had the individual standees by themselves. So they had Professor Tangrowth and Smiguru. And then they also had... Didn't know the professor was a VTuber. Then they also had, you can kind of see their Mario stuff in the background. They had a couple Dittos. They had Girl Ditto, Boy Ditto, Pikachu, and Mosslax as well, that you could go and take your pictures with without having to wait in the line. They separate their game testing by gender. Yeah, no women allowed. I don't need any women in here. Yeah, I think this is the Pocopia line. I think this is the Pocopia line. There was a shockingly big line. Bro, look at the Luigi dude looking at me over here. Look at this is it, Luigi. They also had Pokemon Champions for testing as well, or for demo play as well. And the line for Pokemon Champions was shockingly huge. Like, I'm not that interested in Pokemon Champions because it seems I think it's just like PvP. But the line was massive. What is Pokemon Champions? I think for them it's kind of their new like tournament platform. Yeah, it's dedicated PvP. But it's so, I think the reason they're making it is so that they don't have like okay, now you have to move to Pokemon Violet for the new tournaments, and now you have to move to Pokemon Wind and Waves for the new tournaments. Like, now they have Pokemon Champions and everything can kind of be localized there. It's to erase Pokemon Showdown online. Pokemon Stadium / Battle Revolution for Gen Alpha. Sorry, I can't get over this Luigi dude giving me. He's looking at me like he's like, "What the fuck is this bitch doing?" But yeah, the line for it was huge, and there was some dudes I walked by who were like strategizing in the line. They were like, "All right, so they got Torterra available." The good thing is someone wanting to get into the competitive scene doesn't have to buy 4 consoles. Yeah. So lots of Pokopia, which was cool. It looked like the Pokopia demo was kind of like up until you unlock Scyther. Like you get the first few Pokemon by putting their habitats together. So it was like a beefy demo, honestly. But I feel like Nintendo doesn't scrimp on their demos that often. They had like 4 tutorials to do for a reward. Oh, interesting. What was the reward? I was like positive that there was one because I was like, there's no way people are standing in line for a game that's already out. If there's not something that you get for it, but I was also like, I'm not. I have things I want to do on the show floor, so I don't want to just stand in a line for most of it. Swag, yeah, but I want to know what the swag was. I already got the cool acrylic stand. So then they had a Super Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 edition. You can see like, so it's like big 3D Luigi and Peach and Goomba and Toad and Mario. But then they have pipes that you can pop out of. Down at the bottom. Howdy, howdy! Shooty, hello! I think that DLC is Switch 2 exclusive. Oh. Meet up in Bellabelle Park. Yeah, they had these pipes that you could pose in, like you were coming up out of them. Lamp, hello! Yellow Ring, hello! Get a cat, hello! So you can get a commemorative photo with Mario and the boys. Mario and Elephant Mario. I need to play Wonder because I'm just like, I just got extremely distracted by the purple coins and I was like, why are they purple? Time to hear about PAX as I head back from Adepticon. So I didn't get photos of them. But I saw these 2 I assume they're Space Marines. I saw these 2 Space Marine cosplayers with full like big chonk armor rolling around and it was very impressive. Is this canon? Are Mario and Elephant Mario 2 different guys? I don't know, man. That's why I have to play Mario Wonder. Let's see. Maple said our names. Yeah, that's what the redeem is. the redeem is I say hello. Horace, I don't know if that's gonna work. You might want to refund yourself. Twitch broke some of my redeem connections, so I've been doing them manually. Also, I will set up Jeff. Sorry, that one's my bad. Is that new? Is what new? The redeem? I've had that redeem for a little bit now. Yeah, Twitch broke some of my connections, so I have to troubleshoot it and get them fixed. I've had that redeem for a while now because I know that some people like getting hellos when I know some people like getting hellos when they come into chat. But I know some people feel like don't. Like I'm one of those people that don't. Like I specifically lurk because I don't like being called out. And so I was like asking people, I was like, do you like it? Do you not like it? And it was kind of mixed. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to put a really cheap redeem so that if you want to be said hello to, you can be said hello to. And if you don't want to be said hello to, then you don't redeem it and you don't get said hello to. um that way you aren't me lurking every stream because you're scared of everybody. But you can also get a hello if you would like a hello. Yeah, I got a side view of the Mario pipes. Side view of the Mario pipes that you get to, so you can see they're glitching out of existence. The pipes are clipping. But it was a really cute setup. It was a really cute setup and oh sorry, that's right. I was gonna open up the Jeffening so that you can Jeff me if you want. I'll leave up the pipes for you. I still really want to go to Mario World in Universal. Opening my Jeff Mobile. I still really want to go. I tried to go when my grandma passed away a few years ago because Moose family is broken up along pretty strict quadrants. Where there's the New England mooses, which is me and Mama Moose and Papa Moose and some of Mama Moose's family, and then there's like the West Coast mooses, but there's the Pacific Northwest mooses, and then there's also the SoCal, mostly LA area mooses. I made you a name tag if interested. Wait, let me go look. I'm trying to open the Jeffening. Sometimes it takes a while. It takes a minute for the Jeff machine to warm up. Why is it taking so long? Jeff? Hello, Jeff? Tap, tap. Is this thing on? Oh, here it comes. And so Grandma Moose lived in the LA region. And so when I went out there for her funeral, I was like, well, if I have to come back to LA, I wanna try and enjoy a little bit of it. So I went to Universal and I was really excited to go to Mario World, but they were sold out of tickets for the day. I didn't even realize it was a thing that could happen because it never happened when I lived there. I guess Mario World made it way more popular, and so I hung out in Universal City for most of the day. And honestly, like that was still fun. I got to buy some of the merch and eat good food, but I didn't get to go inside Mario World. So now I really want to. They have it in both LA and Florida, I think now. There we go. Okay. Jeff is live. The Jeff trigger is hot. Click click. It'd be live. Did Twitch break all my shit? Don't shout out Jeff. He was playing Ori in the Blind Forest. Tap tap, is this thing on? Hold on. Jeff? My redeems. My Jeff redeems. Trigger manager. Yeah, Jeff is Jeff should be live. How do I test? How do I test this bad boy? Okay, so it does work. I bet Twitch just broke all my shit. Man. Alright. I'm shutting it down. I'll try and figure out how to reconnect all my Twitch stuff. Yeah, Twitch loves breaking shit. But yeah. I thought they had Mario at both LA and Florida. In which case, maybe I'll go to Florida because it's honestly a shorter flight for me. But yeah, then there's the Florida Mooses, who I really don't know that much about. I just know that they exist. And I visited them like one time, and it was extremely nerve-wracking. But yeah, I want to go. Like, I imagine that the vibe of Mario World is like this. So I want to go. I want to go see it in person. I want to see it for myself. Florida also has the Donkey Kong. Wait, is Donkey Kong Land not in the LA version at all? I didn't know it was a Florida exclusive. Well, now I'm definitely going to the Florida one. Because I'm a Donkey Kong bro to the end. I'm a Donkey Kong boy till I die. So Magic also had a big booth. Oh wait, hold on. I need to go look at my name tag too. Only Florida and Japan? I went to Universal Japan one time a long time ago and the lines were so crazy, and I'm sure that they're also crazy in Florida, but it feels worse to go to Japan to stand in lines because of like how long the trip is and how much other stuff I'd rather be doing. Like, at least in Florida there's nothing else I'd rather be doing than standing in line for Donkey Kong. So Florida would feel, it would feel like the lesser of the two sacrifices. But oh, get my name tag. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, that's really good actually. Hold on, I need to pin it to myself. I've never done an international amusement park thing. I mean, like, Universal Japan was very cool, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like when I'm in a foreign country like that and I'm excited to do a bunch of stuff in the limited amount of time that I have, I'm not like, I want to go stand in a line to go on a ride that is very similar to a ride that I can go on for like a 2.5-hour flight, you know? I'm min-maxing. I completely have forgotten. Oh, there it is. I was like, I have forgotten how to add items. I remembered. Just didn't have the cash and I wanted to spend my days differently. That's the thing, is spending your days differently when you're in Japan is like a completely reasonable thing. I know there's a lot of people who are like, I want to go. Like, that is why I am going to Japan. That is why I'm going to Japan. Is I want to go to Universal or Disney. But that's just not why I go to Japan. I go to Japan to make a fool of myself and occupy. Whatever Strixhaven is, this didn't seem quite as popular as Nintendo. Yeah. So this was the Magic had a big booth that was actually right next to the Nintendo booth. It was not that poppin'. They did have like a shop set up to sell some of the new Ninja Turtles stuff. But it just wasn't like, I think they did actually sell out. I think they sold out of some of the Ninja Turtles stuff at their store, or they at least sold out for the day. But it wasn't that poppin'. Like, I've definitely seen the Magic booth be more poppin', but I thought this was cool because they had, it kind of looked like a portal. They had kind of this like glowing edge that rippled a little bit, so it looked like you were looking through a portal. There's actually a lot of booths that were using those spinny LED lights that make it look like there's like a hologram floating there. There was a bunch of booths using those. One of them kind of jump scared me. Like, I thought there was a little water droplet man standing next to me, and I was like, what the hell? And then I realized it was just like an LED fan. Strixhaven is the MTG Hogwarts-esque setting. Oh, okay. I like Ninja Turtles, but it's so wild to me that Magic is like 90% crossovers now. Yeah, they have a ton of crossovers. But it seemed like the Ninja Turtles one was really popular. How did my coffee already get cold? I like just brewed it. Oh, I guess I've been how have I been streaming for an hour? But so this was cool. Hold on. We distracted you with Twitch fixing. I know that's true. Yeah, sorry. I'll go through and like reconnect everything. Sometimes when Twitch makes an update, or if like one of my programs makes an update, it breaks the connections. So then, now here's where it gets really juicy. I made a visit. Limited run. Uh-oh. 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 What? Listen. We all know the sins they've committed. Wonder if they had any unsold copies of the Shadow Gens Collector's Edition at the booth. I don't know. I didn't see any. But yeah, so Limited Run had this setup where they had a store, but then they also had a bunch of demo stations, which was kind of neat. I didn't yell at them. I didn't yell at them for any of the sins that they've committed, but the people who were running the booth were super nice. I think it's like their new team. They were super cool. And so I kind of they had like some controllers that they were selling. I think they were Switch controllers, but they were branded after different games. So they had a Doom Switch controller. At the risk of sounding like a hater, I do think the founders leaving will probably lead to a better company. I mean, yeah, I think there's no question. But I got to feel it kind of feels like an NES controller, but it's for your Switch, but it was branded like a Doom red keycard, which was really cool. So I got to test that out and feel that, and it was pretty neat. But I made some purchases. I made some purchases. Did the founders leave? Yes. I'm bubbing out of control right now. I said that. I said that to the people running the booth when I was buying it. I was like, they were like, you want Bubsy? And I was like, yeah, I'm bubbing out of control right now. And they were like, okay. The Forbidden Tome. So I bought that. I got Bubsy the perfect collection. I'm sure I'll stream that at some point. And then I got... Everyone's gonna be so mad at me. Back-to-back bangers. When I was looking at it at the booth, I turned around and I looked at the bag, and I went, "Oh damn, you got Enter the Gecko all up in this bitch." And they were like, "That's a really weird thing to say. That's Gex too." Did you say Gex when you bought it? Yeah, I was like, say Gex. And then internally I was like, hi, I'm Gex. So I got Bubsy and the Gex trilogy. They actually didn't have the Sparkster collection, unfortunately. I take a nice photo. The stream goes from just chatting and anything else we know what she's playing. Am I playing Bubsy or Gex is the question. Me and the boys when it's tail time. Yeah, I was definitely bubbing out of control. That is my bad, but and then I also bought Yesent. What if you play Bubsy with your left hand and Gex with your right? I actually picked up the Tomb Raider remasters. So I've never raided a tomb before, which I feel like that's a pretty big gap in like my gaming knowledge, my gaming history. I've always been interested, and I do want to play the remasters too, and I know that there's some remaster, is it the first game is getting a remaster, like or a remake, I guess. You watched that trailer in the Pizza Hut demo disc? That's true. Yeah, so basically I'm a professional Tomb Raider player. But I've always wanted to play them. And I know that like the first two are like well regarded, and then I know that these remasters of 4 through 6, there was a lot of deleted content that was added back in. So I wanted to give them a go. I wanted to try them out, so I snagged them. I'm actually really excited to try these. Because, yeah, like I said, I just never played it. I never got into Tomb Raider for some reason. I think because I just have like a PlayStation. I lagged on PlayStation because Pop Moose is such a Nintendo boy. So I was always a little bit behind. I've always been playing catch up a little with PlayStation properties. The Reboot trilogy is a trilogy of all time. I know the first one was like what kicked off Year of the Bow or whatever. Remember the controls being a little rough? Well, I'm hoping the remaster like maybe helps out some of that stuff. So yeah, I probably spent too much money at limited run games, but in my defense, the chick running the booth was really tall and hot. Ah. Valid. How tall? She had like at least a foot on me. So too bad we got picked some random people, but not though. So in my defense, anyone would have done the same. They had strategic staffing of the booth. Anyone? Anyone. You ever play Resident Evil Village? Yeah. I played all the new. I played like all Resident Evils actually. I played 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I haven't beaten Code Veronica. Or did I beat Code Veronica? It was a while ago, I can't remember. I played Revelations and some of the other spin-offs. Remember people saying Code Veronica was weird? It is weird. There's like a lot of weird backtracking stuff, which is what kind of bothered me, but I know there are people who really love it, so I am working to get through it. Not like actively, but someday. Oh, a Lady Dimitrescu joke. Yeah, I'm a total Resident Evil boy. What about Dead Aim or Outbreak? Outbreak was the PS2 online one, right? So I never got to play that myself, but I've read like all of the collected lore from it online. So I spent a lot of money at Limited Run, but then they were actually right next to Ari, where I didn't buy anything. But they had Bubsy 4D. They had the Bubsy 4D demo playing. And it looked pretty good. It looked fun. So I may in fact be bubbing out of control sooner than we think. Because yeah, the demo actually looked like kind of a banger. I want it to be good. In my heart and soul, I want Bubsy 4D to be so good. They were selling like Bubsy plushes And I heard somebody near me go like, I can't believe they made Bubsy so fuckable now. And I was like, bro, why? What is the fourth D? I believe it will be good. Nuke the Earth! He made Bubsy into a Tumblr baddie. Yeah, I heard a lot of like, I heard a lot of wild shit being thrown around while I was walking around. And then I sat down to eat lunch at one point. Cause I was like, man, I've been running around the show floor all day. I'm hangry. I'm gonna grab a little food. And so I just grabbed some food to eat real quick, and I sat down, and this dude and his friend were sitting next to me. And the guy was talking about, he was basically going on and on about how like game devs don't have passion anymore or whatever. Like one of those rants. But then he was like, yeah, I'm very picky. I'm very particular about the devs I like. And he was like, Crash Bandicoot, Uncharted, Dead Space, and The Last of Us are my 4 favorite video game developers. They're like my Mount Rushmore of video game developers. And I was like, there's so much to unpack. Like, first of all, they're not developers. Those are obviously games / series. But then, I think if they had all been Naughty Dog games, I could have extrapolated from that he was talking about Naughty Dog, and maybe he was just trying to refer to like different teams within Naughty Dog. But Dead Space is just in the middle of there, which makes it completely impenetrable. Like, what is he talking about? I was like, if any Naughty Dog game except Dead Space was in there, I could have like kind of figured out what he was going for. But Dead Space is just in the middle of that conversation, and I was like, okay, so he is maybe referring to what he thinks are different developers. But 3 of them are the same. Maybe he genuinely doesn't know. Maybe he doesn't, which is fine. But the thing was that he was like ranting so much, and he was like basically telling his friend that nobody knows shit about shit, and like he takes this stuff really seriously, basically. And so to have that juxtaposed with then that like Mount Rushmore comment, I was like having a stroke. I was like, I need to go. I like quickly finished eating, and I was like. Dead Space is his favorite Naughty Dog game. It was just like a completely, like, I could not tell what was going on in his head. I was just like, you'd think you, like, look at the Wikipedia page. Google is right there. But yeah, so I heard a lot of like just random stuff like that where I was like, what the hell? But that's PAX, baby. So actually then, I have a few pictures of this. So John Carpenter was actually at PAX. I didn't see him, but they had a booth for the new Halloween game. And they actually had like the house. Carpenter's still alive? Yeah. He's still playing video games. He loves games. He's like addicted to Fallout 76. So he did a panel via Zoom for PAX, and I wasn't there for that, but isn't that your retirement home? Yes. So they had this cool ass, yeah, Halloween house set up, and you could take your pick with Michael, and they had all of these booths for the new, demoing the new Halloween game. One thing that was really funny is there were so many Michael cosplayers at the booth just hanging out. Like you can see the guy in this photo is in a Michael Myers jumpsuit. There was, I counted like at least 7 as I was casually walking by. Another thing I thought was super funny was remember the trivia about the first Halloween movie where their budget was so low and they were filming in spring that they went to like the party store and they got a bunch of fall colored leaves and they would dump it in the front yard and then they would clean it up between shots to bring around to other front yards. They used 1 bag of leaves for the entire movie. It was the vibe that this booth was giving. I saw the leaves on the floor and I was like, ah, a true homage. Yeah, pumpkin number 3. How tall was Michael? He was pretty tall. The standee was pretty tall. You can see based on like where the door is standing on top of the stairs in the background. He was a tall boy. But yeah, I liked the leaves they had everywhere. I had another angle that kind of shows how cool it looked. You can see you can see how tall the Michael is in comparison to everybody else here. Who was taller, Michael or the limited run games booth lady? They were probably like similar in heights. Wait, I just noticed this dude. I'm noticing all these things. I'm noticing all of these people like glancing at me in these photos now. It's like, what are you doing? But yeah, this booth was super cool. I miss when booths kind of looked like this. Like, they looked like craziness. I remember it... I think it was E3, where Capcom actually built the Resident Evil 7 house. Like, in the middle of the show floor. It was cool as fuck. It was... I probably still have photos of it hidden away somewhere on my phone. It's like some of my most treasured E3 memories of seeing the Resident Evil house in real life. It was so cool. Like spotting Bigfoot at your dry cleaners. Need me a girl at least one Michael Myers doll that makes 2 of us. I am actually really excited about the Halloween game. It looks good. I kind of just watched people play the demo for a little bit, but it looked really, really fun and interesting. The escape from Duck Off people were there. And I just liked their cute standees. I haven't played Escape from Duck Off, but the booth was kind of popping. It's good. Is it as hard as Tarkov? Because I know Tarkov is kind of hard. Duck Off X Duck Detective crossover win. So one booth that was really cool. It actually runs. So Blumhouse Games had a booth. It was pretty cool, like, vibe and design-wise. Like, they made it feel really spooky when you were inside of the booth. And it was mostly like indie game pickups that they've done, and it was cute because they actually had a few movie posters around too, like check out these movies coming soon, by the way. But it was very much focused on their indie game lineup. And one thing that was super cool, I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see the screen very well, but they had a live action No, I'm Not Human demo. So basically what you did was you go up to the door, and it's a real door that you can physically open, or you can either physically open it, or you can, I don't remember if you can like shoot out of it or just keep it locked. But basically you go up and you play No, It's Not Human, but you do it with an actual door. And so you look through the peeper hole and you see who's on the other side. And the TV that's there is giving you instructions, like things to look for, and also the TV to the right there is showing some like features of things to look for. Is it a real person out there? I don't know. And so yeah, you basically go up and you play the game using the door. And if you want to let them in, you open the door and it tells you like, yeah, you did it right, or you get killed. And the sound effects were really scary too. The sound effects were very like, it wasn't loud outside of the space. Like they must have done something really cool with the acoustics, or how they were like pointing the speakers. Because I didn't hear it except when I was standing like here or kind of in the space, but the sound effects were super creepy. So it was just a really neat way to demo the game without having like a full-on demo station set up. It was just a cool like experiential thing, which I thought was super neat. So I was like, big props to Blumhouse for thinking of that, because I thought that was freaking rad. It actually made me like more interested, and I was like, should I check that game out? Real professional sign, yeah. So then I did check out some of the retro stores there. I didn't find much. Everything was kind of either like not my bag or super duper pricey. But for a nice cheap price, I did find Star Wars Episode 1 Racer for the Game Boy Color. I'm gonna have to throw a battery into this Rumble Pack. It was like the rare Game Boy Color Rumble Pack that actually had its frickin' battery cover, though. So I'll have to throw a battery into that Rumble Pack. Yeah, and play it on the analog. But so I grabbed that. It was funny because I bought it from a booth, and there was a kid. He was probably like 13, and he was buying a GBA SP, which I was like, props to this kid for going to the best handheld of all time. But so he was buying a GBA SP, and he was trying to decide which games to buy. Like he wanted to test all of the games that he was thinking of buying before committing, because not like a full demo play, but he wanted to make sure the carts worked. And I was like, this kid is very intense, which I respect. And so I was behind him in line, and he was taking so long, and the poor lady at the counter kind of looked at me, and she like waved me through and was like, here, you want that? Yeah, you just give me the money. It got me out of there. But he finally like decided on his games and stuff just as I was wrapping up my transaction. And she was like, okay, and so they helped him add up the price, the total price of all of the games and of the SP itself, and then they were like, okay, like here's the total price. Are you okay with paying that much? Do you have the money? And the kid just pulled like a huge wad of bills out of his pocket and was like, yeah, I think so. And just like starts counting out all of these like tens in front of them. And I was like, holy shit. Yeah, born ready. I was like, I gotta go. Must be some paper route. Yeah, that's what I was like, where did you get all of that? Yeah, it was very impressive. So then I do have just like a bunch of photos of games I was interested in here, but I think a lot of them are on Steam. Let me cross-reference actually. There was one game they actually gave me a little souvenir, and I wanted to call it out specifically because it was freaking so cool. And I don't think they have a Steam page yet, but they told me what their Discord is. So there's a game coming out. It's still an alpha called Idol. And it's basically a deck building game. Where you build your deck to your for each run. But it's a crafting. And I'm not even sure that it's like each run. It might just be like a permanent deck that you're building for progression through the story. But it has like card crafting. And look at me. Sharpie in his tie. And so you actually, when you win games, you get crafting materials. And then you can either craft new cards or you can craft enhancements to your current cards. And create like new versions of them and give them like different abilities, like the ability to play double, or the ability to kind of like use flash, basically like be used as a reaction to other cards. And so it's basically just like, yeah, a TCG game with crafting. And I was like, I was staring at it because I was watching people play it, and I was like, oh my god, this looks like something that would ruin my life. And I was staring at it for so long, finally the dev came over to me and was kind of like, you like what you see? And I think I said, this looks very dangerous for me. And he was like, okay, you get it. And he was like, but isn't that like what you want? Like, don't you want it to be a little dangerous for you? I was like, yeah, but I also need to like sleep for 8 hours at night, ideally. And he was like, hey, who needs it? But so he was actually handing out some of the cards from the game. And one thing that's really cool about the art is he hired a tattoo artist to do all of the art in the game. And so all of the art is like very fine, like line work. And all in kind of this like tattoo style. Because it's all commissioned art from this tattoo artist. So it's just like a super cool game, and yeah, they don't have I know they don't have a Steam page yet, because I was immediately trying. I was like, what's the Steam page? I was like looking it up in real time, trying to wish list it. And he was like, we don't have a Steam page yet. He was like, but we have a Discord. Join our Discord. So I'm gonna join the Discord. But yeah, it was super cool. That was like probably one of the ones that I was most jazzed about, that stood out to me the most. Do I have any other? I got Skyrim music and ambiance. Say less. So this was super cool. And then I took a pictures of a bunch of games, but like I said, I'll pull up Steam and we can cross-reference, and anything that doesn't have a Steam presence, I'll pull up and talk about. I just don't want to like double up. Oh, one game? I actually sent this picture to Kudiko. I sent this picture to Kudiko with "fuck this." There was this giant booth. You couldn't see inside of it because it was a physical experience that you had to like go inside of. But the new Paranormal Activity Threshold game, apparently it's by the Mortuary Assistant team. They had this big thing like from the team behind the Mortuary Assistant. And I was like, oh god. And I was watching some of the footage that they had playing on the TV, and I was completely beside myself. Just standing there. Just standing there in the frickin' expo hall. So I sent a picture of this to Kudiko with "fuck this!" And she responded like, mm? Looking forward to the collab in October. I wonder when it's coming out. I actually don't know. Paranormal Activity Threshold. When are you coming out? Oh, it has a Steam page. Oh, this is immediately so wretched. I hate it immediately. It just says "coming soon." Oh, I can't even look at the footage. It looks so fucking scary. Ah! It's gonna be a no from me, Chief. You'll be fine. Said nobody ever. Yeah, that's a certified, like... Remember how I knocked my entire, like, keyboard and mouse setup off my desk when we played the Mortuary Assistant? I'm like 90% sure that I would annihilate my entire PC. There. I actually got the PAX. Steam actually has a PAX East section up right now, so I'm gonna pull that up and we can look through some of the ones, because actually showing you what the games look like will do a better job than some of my like blurry photos, as I was trying to creep. And that way we can cross-reference, oh, did we see this? And I can show you the ones that we didn't see. Oh, even if this one has a Steam page, I need to show you this photo anyway, because it's very important. I was looking at this game where it's like a platforming game with a T-Rex or a Velociraptor. Some kind of toothed dino. Which I thought was cute, but then as I was watching the game, I suddenly realized that I was standing behind a Fubuki and an Ashley from Resident Evil 4 hanging out. And I was like, oh! Yeah, the classic crossover. Yeah, Fubuki gaming. It's funny because she was cosplaying Fubuki and she had a bunch of Fubuki stuff in her backpack. But then she also had a Mio bag, and I was like, God, what a true gamers respect her. Let's see. A lot of games, a lot of pictures of games, so we can swap over the theme stuff. But before I do, they did have this like big ass statue of this like Warframe situation in the main lobby, and it was rotating, and so I was taking this photo and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And it was like rotating and the colors on it were changing as well. The ass statue. Okay, you already know where this is going. But then like I walked around as it was rotating, and I was like, holy fuck! The ass statue is right. I was just like, Jesus. Like, this is crazy. Look at that dude in the back. Look at the dude's face. He's like, hello. Business in the front, party in the back. Yeah, look at this guy who's on the other side of it. He's like, are you guys seeing this shit? Are you seeing the ass on this thing? Yeah, the ass statue was very popular. And then as I was getting ready to leave, as I got back in my car, I was getting ready to hit it. I saw an extremely eek bumper sticker on the car in front of me. Honk if you'd rather be playing id Software's 1993 PC game masterpiece Doom. I was like, immediately like, that's you, yeah, showing off my car right now. I was like, who is this? I'm gonna sit here and wait for this person to get back to their car and be like, hello. Hello? Oh, but before we go before we go through the PAX Steam games, and I can tell you what I was able to see in person and what looked cool. I had a moment. years in the making, actually. I probably should have pulled like at least part of the VOD for this. I bet I could find it like fairly quickly though. So just one moment. Okay, but when you hear what happened, you're gonna be like, oh, this is a certified moment with a capital M. Yeah, this is a world premiere type situation. So, years and years ago, this was like, I want to say this was like 6 months after I started streaming. And I was specifically doing a kind of a 6-month marathon celebration. And I picked out, it happened to coincide with Microsoft did this. Here it is, I found it. Microsoft did this. Maybe I'm thinking of a different day. Here it is. Scrolling. Microsoft did this thing where they were like, hey, we put all of our, or a bunch of cool game demos up for a limited time. And so you can, it was like the Xbox at ID demo event. And you could only play it for a little bit. I will find it. Because I definitely need to provide a link. And I played a lot of cool games that Xbox kind of had as part of this big demo push. And I was pretty much hanging out all day. Just chilling, having a good time, playing some of these Xbox demos. But one thing that was kind of interesting about it was, as I was playing, I was tweeting because I went for almost 12 hours, I think. And I was like, okay, I'm moving on to this demo now, moving on to this demo now. And some of the devs actually... I found it. Found her. They actually, like, responded to my tweets. Dooney, hello! I found it. I'll post it in, Discord stream chat. And there was a lot of really cool games that I played in this Xbox demo event. And one of the games that I liked a lot, because it had pretty much immaculate vibes for me, was called Outbreak Contagious Memories. And it was... You can, like, tell... I'm grabbing a screenshot of it. You can tell, even just from the look, it's very, like, PS1 horror inspired. I'm looking really cute in this screenshot, by the way. Looking so cute. Oh, I don't want to email this to somebody. I want to save it. You can tell from this image, it is very much like a PS1 inspired horror game. That is the camera angles. Yeah, I'm looking super cute. The camera angles are very like PS1. A lot of the gameplay, like inventory management and combat and stuff, it was very much like giving like Resident Evil or Dino Crisis and stuff like that. I remember what you did now. So the thing with this game is I tweeted, hey, I'm moving on to play Outbreak Contagious Memories. It looks really cool. I'm really excited because I love PS1 horror games. And the dev actually came and watched my stream. And watched me play through the demo. And I tweeted about after how much I liked it. I was like, oh, that game was really fun. I had such a good time. It was really scary though. And the dev responded, we watched you play. We were really impressed that you didn't use the flashlight at all. You must be a really hardcore horror gamer. and I looked at that tweet and I was like, there's a flashlight in this game. I like didn't read the directions properly and I didn't use the flashlight, so the whole game was super dark, but I thought it was just part of the vibes and I was like, oh my god, they're really utilizing how like the darkness for some added scares. Turns out I was just an idiot. And I did not know that the game had a flashlight that I should have been using. But the dev, in their infinite kindness, was like, made it sound like it was an intentional choice that I made because I'm so hardcore. And I was basically like, thank you for giving me an out here, but I have to own that I'm just stupid. And so, turns out that dev had a booth for their new Outbreak game at PAX East. And they were actually selling PS5 physical copies of Outbreak Contagious Memories, the game that I played the demo of, really liked, and played incorrectly. And it was really affordable. It was like $20 for a physical copy. And I was like, you know what? Like, they were really cool. That game was really cool. I had a good time. I'm gonna buy this game. And I basically walked up and I was like, yeah, I'd like a copy of Contagious Memories, please. And the people running the booth were the devs, and they were like, oh, and I think I came in with like so much confidence with this is the game I am buying. Could I buy a copy of this game? They were like, oh, have you played Contagious Memories before? And Noob Sauce, hello. They were like, oh, have you played Contagious Memories before? And I was like, yeah, I have to cop to something. I was like, I actually streamed the game. I streamed the demo of the game. And you guys were very, very kind and cool to me in tweeting like, oh, you must be really a hardcore horror fan because you didn't even use the flashlight, like you just went for it. And I was in fact just really stupid and didn't realize I had a flashlight. And immediately they were both like, oh my god, we remember you. They were like, we loved that playthrough. It was so good. They were like, it was like so, watching you play through without the flashlight was like, it was so amazing because you were still figuring stuff out even without it, and it was honestly really impressive. And they were like, and you like had so many good thoughts about the game, and you were so kind and like in your appraisal of it, and you were clearly like a PS1 horror fan. You were talking about all this stuff, and they were like, we loved that. We like, that was one of our favorites actually. And I was like, wait, really? And so I we talked for a little bit, because yeah, we were just talking about that whole situation, and they were like, oh my god, they're like, it's so funny that you were embarrassed, because we loved it, we thought it was amazing, and like, you shouldn't be embarrassed because you still did an awesome job. And I was like, thanks. So I did buy the PS5 copy of Outbreak Contagious Memories, which I'm really excited about. But they actually have a new game, and it's 4-player multiplayer, cross-platform, called, it's like similar vibes, but it's a first-person shooter this time, called Dead Drop, and they were actually selling the game in these cool old cases. Yeah, Saturn cases. And I was like, and it was a really good deal because they were selling the game in Saturn cases, and when you bought one copy, they just gave you 3 more codes to go with it, so that basically you're buying like a full multiplayer experience. You can give the codes to your friends to play with you. And so I was like, oh hell yeah, like I enjoyed their other games so much. I'll definitely play this, and I'll invite some friends to play with me. So when I bought that, they were like, oh my god, like you're so awesome. And they're like, we loved your playthrough of our demo. And so they actually gave me a t-shirt for the game. They gave me a poster. They gave me a t-shirt and a poster set for the game. And then they didn't just give me, when I bought this game, they didn't just give me the 3 codes for like my my co-op partners. They gave me like 4 codes for every single platform that it's on, and it's on like Xbox, PS5, Switch, and Steam. So they gave me like 20 codes. And they were like, hell yeah. Hell yeah, gamer. They were like, yeah, you can just like give these out if you want. And so when I get to play this on stream, I will give out codes. that people can play. They're really good. Like, that's the thing is like I really like loved the demo, so I'm really excited to give both of these another go. And yeah, I'll have some codes for Dead Drop to give out. Some shades of horror. Let me pull up. And it's interesting too because it is like a different perspective. So Shades of Horror is a different perspective than Contagious Memories. Contagious Memories is like a PS1 style. But Shades of Horror is like FPS from what I saw of the demo station. Oh, it looks like you can do FPS or TPS? This is super interesting. I bet it's on the Steam page though, so we can take a look at it, but so yeah, so that was that was really funny, and I'm sure I was like blushing like crazy because I was like, oh my god, I can't believe they remember that. But they were super duper nice about it, and it was honestly just like a very like wholesome and nice experience. And yeah, they were just really cool people. Apparently it's a husband and wife team. Because yeah, we were just talking for a little bit, and I was just like, yeah, I really loved the demo, and I can't wait to play the full game. And he was like, oh man, he was like, if you enjoy it, like please, you know, maybe like give us a good review on Steam. It helps us so much. He was like, it's just me and my wife, and we have kids. And I was like, yeah, of course, dude. Yeah, it was super wholesome. Oh, so yeah, I'm excited. And shout outs to Dead Drop. They were just like very nice. Just interacting with folks making games and trying their best. It's more chill than E3. Yeah, for sure. E3, it always feels like somebody is like trying to make an angle on you. I guess I said always, like it's not dead in the ground, rip wall. But yeah, like, well, that's why I like the PAX indie booth so much, because the PAX indie booth is literally, you'll just tell someone, like, oh, I love these kinds of games, and they'll just, like, freak out to you about how much, like, yeah, basically I'm making this game because I'm so obsessed with this type of game, and then they'll just, like, crash out to you about their favorite stuff. So it's always very wholesome, but I loved meeting them and talking to them, and it was just so... It was so funny that it was literally like they just remembered instantly. I was like, yeah, I played the demo. You guys were really nice about me not using the flashlight, and they were like, oh my god. So yeah, it was very sweet. I wanted to pull up, like I said, we can cross-reference a little bit with what's on the PAX Steam page, because they have a whole section. See deals and play demos from the expo hall. Oh, they have some of the demos up here too. I should download some of them. One thing that was interesting too is a lot of places, they just didn't want to do lines this year. The places that knew they were going to get lines, so they set up a reservation system instead, so you could just scan a QR code and basically reserve a time slot and then leave and come back. Which I thought was way nicer than doing a full-on, like, stand in line forever. Deals and play demos from the X. Well, some people are actually streaming from PAX. That's wild. There we go. They got women streaming from PAX right now. I'm not signed in because I'm on web. All. So yeah, the PAX Rising showcase was kind of this like separate. There's basically like a kind of an indie dev like aisles, and then there's the PAX Rising showcase, which is like a very concentrated like big booth with a bunch of demos set up next to each other. I did see this one. Solve puzzles with the power of friendship. Each student you befriend gives you a unique item that lets you unlock new areas and explore a wacky anime school. Deliver a confession to your crush. Can you clear every obstacle? Wait, that actually sounds super fun. Heart links? Oh, there is a demo. Ah, shit. Here we go again. Soft fishbowl. This is the hold on. Should make myself smaller and make this bigger. Huge. Freaking huge. There. Yeah, this is the T-Rex Velociraptor? What am I? Metroidvania. It's a Saurian civilization. This dinosaur fellow of some kind. This was the one that Fubuki and Ashley were playing. It looked really good. Shantytown. It's like a town building game. Mad Mojo. Monster catching deck builder. So it was kind of a what's the Pokemon knockoff and trading card game shop simulator. It was kind of giving that, but it was really cute, and some of the gameplay I saw looked really. Canvas City looks kind of like a oh, it's an RPG turn-based. To me, it was kind of giving like turn-based tactics Splatoon, which was kind of interesting. I didn't see this one actually, Project Lexa. Sci-fi language mystery. Crash landing on a mysterious planet, you find that everything is written in an alien language. Use your handy translator to decipher unknown glyphs, explore a strange world, and hopefully return home. Uh-oh. I love strange glyphs. Splat Egoon, I'm in Splatoon. Are people sloshing paint on everything, or is it like tagging zones? I think it's every map is a battleground and a canvas where your actions shift, control, leave your mark, and shape the city's future. So I thought it was a little bit more like, yeah, get your shit on everything, but maybe it is like zone control? PvP tagging, yeah. I didn't see this one either. Blowfish, Super Blowfish Castle. Physics are your best frenemy in this cozy, chaotic, puzzle-solving platformer where you guide a small blowfish back to its castle by pressing just one button. Oh, it's like a blowfish... machine building. That's cute! Did I miss the big story? Yeah. The big story is the devs of a game that I played a demo of years ago where I didn't realize that I could turn a flashlight on, and they were very cool about it on Twitter and were like, wow, you're such a hardcore horror gamer, instead of blowing me up like they absolutely could have and I deserved. I met them at PAX and they remembered me instantly. And they gave me like a t-shirt and a poster and a bunch of free codes to give out for their new co-op game. They were very kind. And they were like, oh, we loved that playthrough. It was really cool. This one looked wild. So yeah, it's a rhythm-based RPG, but it was very like meta from what I could see. The pixel art was pretty interesting. See if they have the... Oh, hold on, let me turn my music off. Still got the Skyrim beats playing. Yeah, it's like, but the combat seemed like it was rhythm game based. Sorry, I don't know if this is super loud for you guys. Just like the art direction was super interesting. And it looked like it had like some horror aspects to it. I was just kind of watching over somebody's shoulder. Yeah, this looked really cool. Oba. That looked really cool. There is a demo. Secret of Crystal Mountain. But it looked really cool. A delivery cat making his way through a magical world. This just looked like really peaceful. This looked like something that I would absolutely vibe to. Also, the dude who was playing the demo when I was watching over his shoulder was decked out in full, like, Knuckles Oshi gear. He had, like, a knitted Knuckles hat on and a full, like, Knuckles backpack with Knuckles keychains and pins all over it. Yeah, this just looks like a cool, like, exploring type game. With cute animals. This to me looked like a tunic where I would die slightly less. Oh, dude, he's got a flute! Oh, it only got three HPs though. Maybe I take back what I said about a tunic where I'd die slightly less. Pikmin? Yeah, this just looked cute and good. Look at that big old pumpkin! This looked cool. This had a bunch of cool looking stuff. Big rift. Oh, this looked really cool. You assemble the island like a massive jigsaw puzzle. I was kind of like cheesing when I was watching this. Yeah, you assemble the island like a puzzle for you to explore. And you're a frog, so you get to hang from stuff with your tongue. God, look at these frogmen. I just like the vibe. It kind of reminds me of the vibes I like from like Wind Waker. Grift. Yeah, this looked very peak to me. Because I wonder if you can put different parts in different places and have like, oh, it even says collectathon in the damn tags. Don't even get me started, Jigrift. Yeah, it looked kind of like if you place different things in different spots, as long as they fit. you can like adjust like how different puzzles and stuff. It was just cool. It was just a cool idea. So I'm excited for that. When are some of these coming out? 2026? Some of them are, looks like it's an early access ready. Halloween. So that's, yeah, that's. Oh, the music! The music! The music! The font! Hold on, I'm cheesing. Wait, I made it too full screen.
Quiet town. Just like hundreds of other small towns all across America. A town just like yours.
Oh, it's peak.
But
Look
it
there.
was
Wait, are
here
those 3 pumpkins? Hold on,
October
hold on, hold on.
31st. Quiet town.
Hold on, we have to count.
Just
Hold on.
like hundreds
1,
of other small
2,
towns all across
3.
America.
It's lore accurate.
A town just like yours.
It's lore accurate.
But it was here on October 31st, 1963. No motive, no warning.
And that one of
No
this is moved
provocation.
from one of the pumpkins in the last
Just
shot.
senseless death. I met him 15 years ago. I thought there was hope, that he could be reached. But what I met was not a child.
Oh no, a 4th
No
pumpkin! Get that shit out of here!
Perhaps not even human. 15 years later, he returned home. But what happened that night was only the beginning. It wasn't just a killing spree, it was a reckoning.
This looks so peak.
He was going to reach it. Come on, we have to go.
The budget is spiked.
You can't stop him. You can't reason with him. You can't kill the boogeyman.
Oh, it's peak! Oh, I'm really excited for that. Yeah, I think there's a story mode, but then I think there's like the asymmetric multiplayer as well. My friend is working on this one. Tell your friend they rule. That game looks so good. Let's see. I saw it. I didn't see whatever this is. I see big yitty women, so I was like, now hold on. What is this? Oh, they're it right now. What type of simulation and visual novel? You like talk to miladies and craft stuff? Oh, you're a guild runner. Yassified Geralt and Gimli. Yeah, I like the art. A classic fantasy guild reception simulation. Oh, that's cool. Oh, there's a demo! Uh-oh, hold on. I'm gonna have to go onto Steam and actually install some stuff. Oh yeah, I saw Hashire Hebereke EX. I saw this in person. How could I forget? Yeah, the Hebereke racing game. I love how even the screenshots are still in Japanese, though. So interesting how I felt like I was really like looking at every booth and oh hello, what is this? I felt like I was really looking at every booth and now I'm like, how did I not see some of these bangers I'm seeing? I don't think I saw this. These packs have single day tables you may have missed. Not usually, but one thing is that a lot of devs will share tables. And so sometimes, like, I'll think that I've seen everything at the table and something will be kind of hidden. I was gonna say, this is kind of giving Signalis. Signalis. This looks really cool. Called the Irony. How did I miss this? 2027. It looks really cool. Oh, you can request access to the playtest. Hello? A monsterist. I did see Mold Washer. It's a isometric power wash simulator, basically. We'll have to play it to figure out what's ironic about it. The irony sounds like a rejected Metal Gear boss. Yeah, this is I saw this. The isometric power wash simulator. Where you're cleaning up mold as a tiny sushi. Cute! I don't know why this reminds me of syrup trying to do chores. The VTuber game. And my coworker, I think I said this in Discord. I don't know if I said it on stream. My coworker was calling out sick a lot, and I'm kind of known as like the person in the office who gets sick the most, because I do. And so my boss made a joke like, "Man, he's even more sick than you are. He's giving you a run for your money." And I was like, "Yeah, man. I hope he's okay." And then he came in after like a few days of being out sick. And he was like, "I figured out what's going on with me." And I was like, "Wait, what's going on?" And he was like, I did an air test in my apartment and the mold content came back at like 5 times the recommended limit." So he literally just like was getting mold poisoning from his apartment and is currently working with the landlord to get that figured out. Moldio man. I said that. I was like, "You're moldio now." And then like internally I was like, "Bro's a VTuber." I saw this. It's dark fantasy, but the vibes are pretty cool. It's very like spooky. Souls-like is the first tag. RPG, first person, difficult. Turn-based tactics. I saw some of these, but I didn't like. Ew, what is this? Oh, it's a idler clicker? Oh, now hold on. Here's a demo. How is this an idler clicker? Worse French. Oh, there's puzzles. The Dark Souls of France. I like these vibes, though. I'll be back. No players online. I thought this might be part of one of the PS1 Haunted PS1 demo discs, I think. Oh, wait, let's see. Oh. Maybe they had some of these like locked away. I don't know if that's a thing that PAX does actually, if your game is rated like M. Because that was actually a thing that we had to worry about for E3 a couple times. Is if you're showing an M-rated game, it can't be like you have to either ensure that the bit that you're showing for the demo doesn't have like the worst M-rated content, or you have to kind of have it in a sequestered off space so that young eyes can't accidentally. Schrodinger's Call. All of these look really. It's the fuck? It's the dog. It's the This Is Fine dog. All these games you missed were actually in the Paranormal Activity booth. What? Oh. Moose translate. Fishing horror? Say less. I saw another fishing horror game, actually. Now we're to the Bloomhouse booth. Oh, thank you for gifting Dragonite a sub. Live stream showcase. Soon. Yeah, so there were some other... Interesting, because there were some other games that I saw that looked really... I wonder if maybe they don't have Steam. I did see Fractured Blooms. They had, I believe, a demo out for that people were playing. I saw Kiln, actually. I saw Kiln at the Double Fine booth. It looked really fun. It looked very goofy. They did, oh my god, the Neopets. Oh, there was a lot of Needy Streamer Overload merch at their I believe it's their publisher. Publisher was there. They had a lot of merch at the booth. Let me pull up Dreadmore. Dreadmore is one of the games I saw that I was like, oh shit. It's a first person fishing horror. I just like the vibes a lot. Dark fantasy has officially hit the fishing genre. Yeah, this looks so cool. I took a photo. Let me pull up my photos, because I basically took photos of all the games that when I saw them, I was like, I watched the demo for a while and I got really jazzed. This is one of them. Oh, there's crafting! Don't even get me started! You want me to do anything for a game, put crafting in it? This looks so peak. Oh my god. Remember when I made that that chart of what makes a good fishing game? And like part of it is that you need to use different rods and baits in different areas to catch different fish. Like it's giving. Gas up, chief. Oh, it looks so good. Yeah, this looked peak. The demo that they had. Do they have a demo on Steam? Son of a bitch. I need to be less shy, but part of the problem is like, you guys have seen me play games. I feel like the way that I approach and play games is not like optimal, or at least how a lot of devs like intend their games to be approached. I start like fucking with things really fast, which I think some devs like, and I think some devs are like, what are you doing? Like, and so I get really self-conscious, I guess, when I play demos in person, like in front of the person who made the game. Because usually if I walk up on a game and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try out this demo, it's because something about it is super interesting to me, and I'm like, oh, I want to check this out. But then I feel like sometimes I want to like marinate in it, and I'm like, oh, let me check out this thing, and let me really dive into this thing, and it's just like not how game demos are like meant to be approached on the show floor. It's kind of, especially at a place like PAX, which is a little bit more like there are lines for things. I just feel like, I don't know, I feel too self-conscious, I guess, to actually play demos on the show floor in front of people, because I know that I'm gonna get real weird really fast. Oh, I saw this looks so cute! Called Real Tiny, and you play as a shrew and he fishes. I was standing and watching the demo for this game for like slightly too long because I was just freaking out over the shrew. Because it's so cute. Look at his little boots. Hell yeah. Oh my god, there's a demo? Hello? I'm gonna be downloading so many demos after this. It's gonna be disgusting. This one looked really cool. Secret of Weepstone.
People of Weepstone, your lord has fallen ill. In his half-waking state, he mumbles incoherently of Weepstone Keep.
Dread
Are
XP
there
had a
any
good
among
booth.
you willing to delve into that forsaken place to find the source of Byron's torment?
Rip.
That there are.
You there? Who are you that dares enter this sacred place?
Yeah, this looked really cool. Other one. Oh, I saw this. This looked fun. Rightfully Barry Arms. It was like vibes wise, it was kind of giving Duck Game to me, which I love Duck Game. This is my life, it's your mod. The Rocktopus. This was cute. Oh, that one's already on sale.
Gaming.
Gaming. Oh, I saw this one. This one was cool. So this is a puzzle game that is infinitely wrapped. So see. It was very trippy to see people figure out the puzzles, but it was really cool. And there's a, I think there was a 2-player mode as well. I thought I saw 2 people playing together, and they were kind of struggling because one person kept pushing when the other person didn't want them to. They were like blocking their way. This was cool. Have a demo? Just buy it? Is it out? Oh, I guess it's out. This looked crazy.
The lamb is a peaceful and adorable creature. Just watch how he creates. Unless they're the protagonist in a hyper-fast-paced RPG. You are Lammy Poo, a young sheep on a mission to rebuild Tuscany after the evil wizard Thundergoober blasted your village into dust and scattered your entire family. You have a whole button dedicated to screaming, and depending on how you press it, you scream differently. Fight enemies in super fast-paced bullet hell combat. Every enemy can either be exploded to collect their EXP or gaslit into being friends with you and joining your team, just like during lunchtime in 3rd grade. Every potential teammate has their own stats, battle abilities, and shiny variants you can hunt down. When befriending these enemies, you'll utilize the react mechanic, which changes from battle to battle situationally. You're basically getting like 1,000 games here for the price of one. That's a good deal. You can choose your own adventure in Tuscany, reunite your cousins and rebuild your home, or go feral and wipe out literally every single NPC on the map for their EXP, every single one. There are even a ton of challenge modifiers like permadeath and banning teammates to spice up the gameplay and keep you playing again and again. Tales of Tuscany is the RPG where you are this freaky sheep tasked with saving the world. Wishlist the game on Steam, please. I'm begging you.
Jesus Christ. Okay, that was kind of the vibe. That was kind of the vibe of the game. So I was watching one of the demo screens, and whoever was playing it was talking to that squirrel Dale, and Dale was just like ranting about how his wife is super hot or whatever. And I was like, what the fuck is this? It was but the writing was actually like pretty funny. Yeah, he was just like, my wife's a fucking supermodel or whatever. And I was like, what is this? What am I looking at right now? Like that they still have Doki Doki Literature Club in here. Oh, I saw this. This looked really interesting. Like top down. Wait, another dark fantasy, boys. But the aesthetic was kind of cool. What the fuck? Like, there's just a dance number in here. It's like a top-down hack and slash. That was interesting. What was the other? Hold on, let me open my. Yo, women? Let me open my pictures folder. See what I haven't seen. PAX East. We already saw Toroban. Toroban. Mod Mojo. Away from Home. Jiggriff. Secret of Crystal Mountain. Nah. Real Tiny. Secret of Weepstone. I can just like search them on Steam. Yeah, some of these games are definitely already out, which is interesting. Oh, I saw another Pint was one that I liked. It's a medieval tavern simulator, which looked cool. Let me search overs. Don't see on the page. Maybe they don't have Steam pages though. Oh, this one does. And it does a demo. What the heck? Procedurally generated level building semi-auto battling. What the? Oh, it's early access. Oh, this one looked pretty cool. Interesting. You figure out like where the anomalies are, and you go and fight them. Purge the blight. I think that one's already out. What else did I take a picture of? Hi. Feel tiny. This one looked crazy. Hold on. Steam page. It does. Hold on. This one's perfect for me. Called Conspiracy Simulator. I don't think it has a trailer. But you hunt for clues on VHS tapes. And you start to put together the conspiracy using your wiretaps and your VHS your VHSs that you comb through. Investigate like it's 1993. Hunt clues on VHS tape, shortwave radio, and the early internet. Pin evidence to your board. Connect the strings and publish theories for cash and followers. Just try not to lose your mind. I saw that was at the show. This hole, it was made for me and Maple so that she plays with the cork board. Average Maple stream. Love that one. A bunch of these are already out. Didn't realize. That's one nice thing about PAX too, is sometimes you're like, this game is just out, and I didn't know about it at all. This one's called White Knuckle. Oh. So it's like a very stressful parkour. Oh my god. I think the other game I saw was a Dread XP as well. I'll just go to their page. Pig face was what I saw.
Hello, Exit. If it feels like something's been implanted at the base of your skull, that's because there has. It's a small explosive device, one that I can detonate at any time. It's in your best interest to listen to me. This is your apartment. You spend time here between jobs. Check the map on your laptop for the job.
God. Big face. Yeah, I saw that. I saw... Interest. There it is. They don't have a trailer either. It's called Prophecy Walker. It's a first-person puzzle time loop walking sim where every choice reshapes the island with every new attempt. Every choice the island remembers. And no trailer. There's one cheese in it. Oh, there it is. Can't read. I can't read the name. The logo. I think it's Spider Lily? I love a cute skeleton. Oh, I like the, like, weird frame rate on some of the animations. Like the claymation frame rate. That's just a giant pool of blood. Me chilling with my pet fish. Now you can see why I couldn't read the logo. Yeah, I was watching somebody, there was a demo for this at the show, and I was watching somebody play it. Lost soul rescues a blind fish on the shores of the afterlife, binding their fates. With only a drum to guide the way, escort this fragile companion through a vast facility that processes souls toward rebirth. Emotional journey through attachment, dependence, and letting go. Yeah, the demo looked really interesting. There was like puzzles that they were solving that looked really fun. This is cool. I think that's all the ones I took photos of. Oh, there was one more. Actually, I didn't take a photo because there was like a bunch of people standing in front of it, so I couldn't get a clean shot. But I wrote it in my notes app. Writing it down made me remember. Looks like this one might be out already too. Called Necromancer of Nowhere. It's like a puzzle. Yeah, puzzle like drawing with symbols type game. Rug. You like draw symbols. to make different things happen. There was a lot of stage flipping too. Cute! October 31st. I think this one might already be out. Indie game fan collection. Drawing symbols for Magic. The DS crowd really has grown up. Yeah. What's the name of the game where you say the spell out loud? I like it's part of a bundle called Animals with a Job. Oh my god, hold on. The other game in the Animals with a Job bundle is called Hook, Line, and Sniper, and it looks like you're a fish who is also a sniper. There's a voice-controlled Magic game? Yeah. I swear, like, Quinn was talking to me about it. Look! Look! Oh my god! He's shooting birds! Look at him! He has a grappling hook. Don't even see me in Hook, Line, and Sniper competitive PvP. You just shoot a cannonball out of that sniper rifle? God, this is so peak, actually. Oh, he died. Rip. Oh my god. Give him a boon outfit and let him go. Oh my god. Yeah, that was, Oh, I forgot about the last thing I bought. Hold on. This is like a separate rant. But there was a lot of cool stuff. Looked through the search and found text of the old tweet. Oh my god, wait, hold on, yeah. Horace found the actual tweet where I was told that I did not use the flashlight. Really enjoyed this playthrough. I'm amazed you did the entire thing without turning on the flashlight even once. That's gotta be a world record for the demo. Now that's dedication to survival. So kind! Like, so kind for, like, me just being a tool. Oh my god. I can't, oh brother! I am actually really excited to play the full game, because the demo was a banger. I'm just an idiot. But it's not news. Oh, let's see. Wait, how much space do I have? I recently was all of a sudden like, oh my god, I need to free up some space on my damn computer. And I did free up quite a bit of space. I I want to install some of these demos. PAX. Send me to PAX. PAX. They freaking... Did they take down the PAX section like while I was streaming? Hello? Okay, I found it. It's not on their main page anymore, but you can still access it if you know what one of the games is. You can get to the section. They took down the like banner on the front page. Yeah, the show floor must have closed a few minutes ago. Yeah, but they probably have it on a timer where it's like, oh, as soon as it hits 5 p.m. Eastern, shut that shit down. So I just want to go through some of these and download the demos. Oh, but the other thing, I wanted to make sure that I got into that before they take everything down. But the last purchase I made, so this is like also kind of like a semi-local plug. There is a candle shop, and you know, if you've been here for a minute, you know I'm like a huge candleman. I freaking love candles. I love scents and candles, and I love burning candles to match the vibe, whether it's seasonal or like match something I'm doing, like a book I'm reading or a game I'm playing is like my whole thing. And there is a candle shop that specifically makes candles that are themed after like D&D campaign settings. And so they're actually like semi-local. They're down in New Hampshire. And they frequent like Renaissance fairs is usually where I've seen them before. And I always buy a couple of their candles because their candles smell really good and they actually burn really clean. So I'm very persnickety about my candles because sometimes you get a candle that like the scent isn't very strong, but it burns really clean, and then sometimes you get a candle where like the scent is really good and really strong, but it burns like you have a bonfire in your house, and then when you blow your nose later, it's just all soot, and you're like, oh, I'm living in frickin' 1900s London or whatever. Are you familiar with decent candles? I don't think so. So I'm very persnickety. And I buy a lot of like themed candles, and then sometimes when I try to burn them, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna give myself the black lung doing this. Are you familiar with Big Chunkus? But these candles burn hella clean, and the scents are immaculate. And so I've always really loved their candles, and whenever I saw them at a Ren fair, I would pick up like some of my faves, or I'd sometimes try some new ones. But they're just really cool because they're all themed after like D&D settings. And so you can see like they have different collections, like Campaign 1, and then they have like Arcane Library, Forsaken Necropolis. It's funny, Forsaken Necropolis I think got rebranded for like a small bit because I had Necropolis. I actually think mine is just called Necropolis. It's not called Forsaken Necropolis. But I think they rebranded it to something else for a little bit because they were like nobody wants to feel like they're buying a scent that's dead bodies, but then I think they've changed it back to Necropolis now, because I got confused. I was like, where'd my Necropolis go? And this was a couple of Ren fairs ago, and they were like, oh, it's been rebranded to such and such. And I was like, oh, okay, but multiple people must have said that, and I actually brought that up. So they were at PAX. They had a big booth at PAX. It was like the biggest booth of theirs I've ever seen. So they must be doing well, and I'm really happy for them because their candles whip. Yeah, I commented. I was like, "Oh, Necropolis is back," and they were like, "Yep." They're like, "We've just taken all the dead bodies out of it." I was like, "Nice." But they smell really nice. So I think I've tried Cavernous Depths, Arcane Library, Necropolis, Sylvan Forest, Ancient Woods, Sacred Temple. I actually haven't tried their campaign 3 because I think that one's newer. Peep at decentcandle.com ASAP. They're a good laugh. Oh my god. And then you can like build your own sets. So you can actually build sets that are based on like a D&D campaign you're going to be running. And they have like wax melts too if you can't burn candles. And that's something that I'm like kind of moving over to now, is I have so many candles that I burned once and they didn't burn clean, but I liked the scent, but I hated sneezing out a bunch of soot after. So I did get like one of those candle melting lights, and I'm going to try and use that on some of them. But these guys, you don't have to do that for. You can just burn them like normal. Based, you say? Yeah. So another thing that's really cool is not only can you like pick out like, okay, my party is going to be going to like these different locations, then you can burn the scent of the location during your game, but they actually have maps. These are all free. You can just download them. They have maps of all of the areas that their candles are based on for use in your campaign, should you like. And so it's this really cool like D&D candle tie-in where they have like, you start in a tavern, here's the map if you want to use it, like here's the cavernous depths if you want to use this map, here's what the elven palace looks like. So it's just super cool. It's just like a really neat concept. Yeah, their candles whip. So they actually, and they have accessories too. So they have like this little wooden candle stand. They actually have new accessories that they don't have on their website yet. They have like an actual dragon, that's like kind of curled up around this now. That looks really cool. That must be like a in-person exclusive. Oh yeah, look, original formula Necropolis. That's the one that, yeah, that's one I had. That's just Necropolis. And they rebranded it. Yeah, black wine, nightshade, and bone dust. It actually smells really good. They have a discontinued jousting tournament. So they also do surprise. It's basically surprise candles. That they just call Wild Magic Surge, and you never really know what you're getting. You put your fate in the forces of chaos and roll the dice. You can let them know like, oh, I hate this type of scent or whatever, and they'll just like mix it up for you. But I like Ancient Woods, redwood, cedar, oak, moss, and amber. I like Cavernous Depths. Scent of wet earth and dripping stones, dirt, petrichor, mushroom moss, and whatever that is. It really does. It smells like, yeah, it smells like a cave, but not like gross. It's just cool. I want to try. I smelled Druid Grove yesterday, and it smelled really good. Lavender, moonflower, Japanese cherry blossom, rose, and apple nectar. I should have bought it. I should have bought it. That sounds so good. I mean, it smelled really good. I was just like trying to be good because I'd already spent so much money. I'd already spent so much money on the tall woman. Elven Palace is like wine, I think. Yeah, ripe red and black grapes, oak barrel, mahogany, cashmere. What's the other one? The new Forsaken Necropolis. Oh, blackberry, blackcurrant, wild sage, fennel, basil, and amber. Still mostly the same scents. Smoldering sage and eldritch energy. Where do you get black wine and bone dust from a guy who doesn't like answering questions? Harvest Festival. It smells like apples and stuff like that. It's really good. Long Rest was interesting. It really does smell like a campfire. And like there's a lot of candles that I smell that try to like approximate what a campfire smells like. This smells like really like a campfire. What else have I? Oh, I've done Sylvan Forest before. Clove, peach, geranium, rose, black tea, tobacco, and patchouli. That one's nice. Sacred Temple smelled good yesterday. White tea, incense, cedarwood, and amber. Misty Mountain, juniper, cypress, fir, pine, moss, ozone, eucalyptus, and cedar. Mystical Meadow also smelled really good. Green grass, honey, orange blossom, jasmine. Oh my god, I can never pronounce this. Is it Yang Lang Lang? I don't know. I don't want to mess up. But yeah, it's just cool. So if you're a fellow like scent freak and you like matching your scent to your like game vibe that you're playing, this is like such a helpful brand. But I just love them. I'm obsessed. So I was really excited when I saw them at PAX. I was like, oh my god, yes! I immediately went in. The one that I bought yesterday actually isn't on the site though. That's what I'm confused about. They have this new, they have a limited edition. They have a limited edition set, and they have Cozy Cookie as one of them. But they had another one that was called lemon glazed, and it does just like it kind of smells like a lemon bar. But it wasn't. Sometimes with lemon candles, they can smell a little bit like pine sol or like this like cleaning supplies. But it did really smell like somebody baking a lemon bar. Like it was like the nicest lemon, and it was kind of like nicely layered too. Like you first get like the sugar, and like the bake scent, and then like as you kind of like linger with it, then it starts smelling more like lemon. It was really cool, and so I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get the lemon glazed. So I got that. I can't believe they don't have it on their site. It's such a good scent. Now I need to savor it, knowing that I can't get more unless I can find them in person at PAX or at a local Ren fair. Yeah, they're super cool. Hashtag not sponsored. None of this is sponsored, by the way. Just me ranting, but like I'm such a fan. I probably like came off like a crazy person because I was just like, and I have Arcane Library too. I was like, oh my god, yeah, you're here. I was like, I see you at this Ren fair all the time, and I see you at this Ren fair all the time, and they were like, oh yeah, we go there. Yeah, leather, parchment, teakwood, sandalwood, and musk. It's really nice. It's like gentle. But like this fucking freak candle super fan. Frankincense, myrrh, and gardenia. That's interesting. One of my oldest online friends got on a candle making kick out of the blue. She IMs me one day. See, kids, back in the day, we called them instant messages before they eventually became PMs, then DMs. My boss said IM during a meeting the other day, and I started sweating. I was like, brother, two of us understand what that means. Asked me what my favorite smell was. I said fresh baked bread. She was like, I mean scents. How the fuck am I supposed to make a bread candle? See, I'm the same way. I don't know if it's like, I just like smelling things. It's probably really weird. Maple does the opposite of gatekeeping. She will tell you about her special interest. You will listen to be interested. See, like, that's the thing is, like, I just really like scents. I just like them. And, like, I've always had this really, 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 really sensitive sense of smell. And so I'm also the first person who can tell if something's off. So I'll be like, oh, like, this thing you just opened up doesn't smell great. And everyone's like, I don't smell anything. And then people will smell it for a while and they'll be like, no, I see what you mean. But, like, it hits me from across the room. It's called stimming. And I can always smell, like, I kind of, unfortunately, I the building that I work in, we do have a restaurant on the first floor, and I can always smell when they burn something or if they're making something special. I'm like, oh, they're doing such and such today. And everyone's like, how did you smell that? But I just have a really, really sensitive sense of smell. But it's like, I don't get overwhelmed by scents. Like, I like my scents to be really, really strong. I think because I smell stuff so strongly, I'm just like, yeah, give it to me. Like some people like loud music. I like loud scents. And so I'm kind of the same way. Like, I've been like this about candles for a long time, where I just really, really love candles. And I like trying different brands and locking in on my favorite brands, like these guys. And my favorite scents from those brands. And then I like pairing, like, I usually, if I'm just reading a book that doesn't have like a particular theme, I'll usually just skew like seasonally. And so it's like floral scents in the spring, and fruity or coconut or salty scents in the summer, and then some different fruits slash like woody scents in the fall, and then pine, mostly pine and stuff like that, and pine and some like mint scents in the winter. But then if I'm doing something where I'm like, oh, I'm playing this game that takes place in a forest, like, I'll burn something that smells like a forest, because it makes it more fun to have like the extra sensory experience. But I actually recently like I've gotten like perfumes in the past, especially if there was like a limited run of something that was like a branded tie-in that I was into, or I was like, oh, like so and so came out with this like very specific type of perfume that's based on, you know, this character from such and such. I would pick that up, but I'm like not usually a big like perfume head. But I recently started kind of getting into it because it's like candle scentology with like an extra step. Because with perfumes, there's all this other stuff you have to keep in mind. Like, one thing I learned is there's the reason that people do like a strip test, like spraying it on a strip versus then a skin test, is that your body heat actually changes. Your body heat and then like your skin's chemistry. And it changes, it varies person to person, can change how a perfume smells on you specifically. So if you like how it smells on the scent strip, then you do a skin test to see if it's like something that you'll like, or if once it hits your skin and heats up a little bit, if you're like, oh no, that did something to the scent that I don't like. But then there's also like layering too. So if you're like, oh, I want, you know, the first like the top note to smell like this, and then the middle note to smell like this, and the bottom scent to smell like this. You can layer perfume in different ways, but you have to do it very specifically, because if you layer it too fast, like you have to wait for like basically layer 1 to dry and then you put on layer 2. And I also learned all these things about like how you spray and like when and how far away from your skin you hold it, because if you spray too close to your skin, it bunches up more of the alcohol content from the perfume. Like the alcohol is just there to carry the scent, but then it evaporates and is supposed to leave just the scent. But if you spray it too close, it'll be mostly like concentrated alcohol, and it won't like dry and evaporate as easily. So there's just all sorts of stuff like that. And then also like you need to wait for it to dry before you like put on clothes over it, because the alcohol could wipe off onto the clothes, and the way that it like evaporates and leaves the scent functions differently on fabric than on skin. So I actually like recently I got a like a perfume. A lot of companies will send you samplers of their scents so that you can try them and decide which one you like. If you want to buy like a bigger bottle. So I got some of the samplers sent to me. And I've been kind of working through them. There's a couple that I don't like. There was one that I liked that was like kind of rainwater and lotus flower that I really liked, but I ran out of the sample really fast because I liked it so much. And so now though there was a second one that I was trying. It's like supposed to be this gin scent, which ordinarily I would be like, I don't know about that. But I sprayed it. I was hoping it was going to be more like a light botanical gin. The samples are how they get you exactly. I was hoping it was going to be like a light botanical gin scent, but it wound up kind of smelling like aftershave to me. So I only wore it once, and I'm probably not going to wear it again. So I've moved on to there's a magnolia scent now that I'm trying, and it's actually really nice, like a gentle floral. But I'm trying to go kind of, because the samples do last like a week or two. I'm kind of trying to go in like seasonal order. So in spring you're supposed to focus on florals, and then in summer is when you do like the more citrusy type stuff, and then in fall is where you get the more like musk scents. And the other thing too is that there's like different scent profiles of each perfume, where some are more overpowering and some are more gentle, but then they also have like different like some you can smell like kind of from across the room, and then some you can only really smell if you're like, if basically it's for you only you can smell yourself. And it's kind of interesting because they all react to heat in different ways, and so there's certain perfumes that are like recommended more for summer because they work well in the heat. They don't get like weird if you wear them in the heat. And then like, but like maybe they don't get weird and wonky in the heat, but they aren't like overpowering. Like they fill a bigger space. And so like in the summer you're outdoors more, it's hot, but like you're more like in an open space where people aren't all crushed up on you. And so you want a scent that like you can do those scents that fill a bigger space, but you want to avoid scents that get whacked out by the heat. And then conversely, in the winter, there are scents that you want to avoid because you're in closer quarters with people. You're indoors more. And so you want scents that kind of stay closer to your body, but then you can go for those scents that maybe don't work as well in like a hot like sweaty day. You can wear scents that are a little bit more like warm, and that won't get like turn sour by the heat because you're not gonna have to worry about that as much. So it's just like super interesting. Sorry, that was my rant about like perfume. But I like recently got into it and I've been testing these samplers and I've been like I have a lot of thoughts about how the perfumes work. It is like I've loved candles and like candle scents and how they work together for a long time, but perfume scents feel like a PhD compared to my like candle obsession. What I'm hearing is when going out to a con where the most fragrantly intense thing you can find to be the most aggressively spreading scent possible. Yeah. Because you have to cover up for all the people around you. You're performing a public service. You're performing an AoE healing spell. Just leave the Axe body spray at home. No! Break out that Axe body spray now! Fragrance AoE. And like the stuff that travels farther, you want it to be the like gentler stuff so you're not like fucking with people too. You have to think about who's gonna be around you. Like, am I gonna be in a room with people who will appreciate this, or am I gonna be at work where people are like, don't fucking get this shit on me? Oh, I wish they let me burn candles at the office. Or like not burn them, but even if I had a light where I could like, because I visited a client's office the other day, and somebody just had a little candle at their desk that they were using a light to melt, and I was like, oh, I want that for me. But I think my office is too square, a bunch of squares. I don't think they would let me do it. Most places are scent free now. I know. My office has a few of those melters at it. You could try. I know, but I think my office is too square. I think they would be like bitchy about it. They don't care about our comfort. What makes us happy. Walking the con floor dressed as a Terminator dual wielding Febreze. Just have a highly suspicious lamp at your desk. Yeah. I already have a highly suspicious lamp in my chat. Don't let me buy these. I'm like already like, damn. Oh, you can get samplers on here? Don't even get me started. Oh my god, hold on, wait. The Astral Sea is like kind of an intense scent. I've never bought it because it's like, but it feels dark. It's interesting. Don't even get me started. What's in the alchemy? Lavender, amber, rosemary, tonic, frankincense, myrrh, sage. Oh, you can get the sample candle for only $5! How much are the wax melts? $8. $5 sample candle. They show contact and events. Hold on. I don't know. I want to make sure it's not going to try and like geolocate me. Okay. Oh, they're going to be at Anime Boston next week. And if I want to drive all the way back down to Boston, I could go buy more candles. Necticon. I haven't heard of that in a minute. Oh, they're on the wait list for Gen Con. Actually, I have a... They're not going to Otakon, but I do have a coworker going to Gen Con. If they get in, I might give him like a list. King Richard's Fair, it's peak. Absolutely peak Renaissance Fair. God. Getting out of control now. But I'm gonna install some of these demos. Decent Candle has one called Angry Stepdad, scented of bourbon, cut grass, and belt. Jesus Christ. Let me install some of these bad boys. I might not play Might not play these demos today because I do want to eat dinner at a good time. Because I do have to work early. Stop. I do have to work early. So I want to eat dinner at a good time. I ate dinner at fuck o'clock last night. You can hear stuff installing. I got home so late. I drove home from PAX. I got home so late. And I was like, well, I still gotta eat. And I was not, I was not thinking. So all of a sudden I'm like eating my dinner and it's like 10:30, 11 p.m. and I was like, that definitely messed with my stomach. Downloading demos. So I wanna get back on a schedule. It's funny though, because then I pretty much immediately went to bed after I ate and slept pretty good. This I wanted to try. I'll get all these down. So I'll probably try and play some of these. Eek. You see that they're dropping a fan TL for Xenosaga DS? I did not see that. Can you send me that? I actually played it in Japanese. I played it in Japanese, but it was a long time ago. Like pretty much right after it came out. I played it in Japanese, but I would love to play it in English because Xenosaga does have a lot of like very intense in-depth sort of themes and aspects to it that made me, with my level of Japanese, there were a few times where I was like, wait, what? So I would love to play it fully understanding. Check the games channel. Thank you. Adding all of these. Adding all of these, games. Adding all these demos. To go through and add stuff to my wish list too. So that I don't forget some of the cool stuff. Can I like, oh, if I go down to the bottom, can I sort by has a demo? Right, preferences. Features. Features? Demo? No? Tape? Games? Oh man. I don't think they have the ability to. I type in themes and moods, demons. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. That's a different thing. Well, I'll just go through. I'll do it the hard way then, if I must. It's interesting how many of these are already out. What's up, Moose Lady? What I missed? We looked at games. We talked about PAX. I'm actually wrapping up. Oops, sorry. Can somebody refund the points? I was talking to earlier. Twitch broke a bunch of my redeems. Which broke my redeems, so I have to, as soon as I end stream, I'm gonna go fix some of these. As usual. And Jeff is broken, because I think that one might have, I think Twitch just, like, murdered a bunch of my stuff. Away from Home have a demo? Thought it did. Yeah, it does. You got the sneaks. So I'm gonna probably do a PAX game demo day. Because I want to go through these and see some of the games I was interested in. I want to play their demos. All demo. Yeah, I want to go through some of these and play their demos. So probably they will be that, and then there we go. Then Metroid Prime 3. I'm still trying. Twitch hates you. Tell me something I don't know. I'm still trying to fix some of the emulation issues with Metroid Prime 3. At this point, the controls work and are pretty smooth, but now it's like OBS and the game are not getting along, because it runs fine when I'm playing it without OBS. But then the second that I introduce OBS into the situation and start streaming, it's like something is not interacting well there. And so I need to figure out what's going on and if I can fix that. So if I play Metroid Prime 3, it'll probably be later in the week, so I can try and do more troubleshooting, because I have not figured that out yet. I don't know what my options are there. I don't know if, like, I could play it. Like, would it be possible to play it, like, on my laptop and play the game on my laptop and then stream it through my PC? I don't know. I need to figure it out. I need to figure it out. But I'd like to keep going with Metroid Prime 3. Yeah, it's just kind of contingent on me not hitting everyone with that crunchy granola audio. Is my goal. And then I think I can beat Lego Lord of the Rings this week, because I think I'm in the last stretch, because I started the Return of the King stuff, but there might be more left than I'm expecting. But I did start Return of the King stuff. So I'll do that. And then vote it on the poll. I did that poll last week, and like nobody voted for Fallout 4, which is pretty funny. Wall-to-wall Gex. Don't even get me started. They're gonna surprise you with a Lego Rings of Power post-game. My vote didn't matter. MGS Delta actually got some votes. Sonic Boom got some. So I'll probably try to finish Lego Lord of the Rings. Yeah, so Lego Lord of the Rings, PAX demos, and then something else, question mark, dependent upon Metroid Prime 3 working, is kind of where I'm at right now. So I'll let you know. I'll let you know if Metroid Prime 3 works. That's my plan. Welcome to the Electoral College. A copy for the Decent Candles website. Very sensual. You'll want to fuck these candles. Long lasting. A lot long. Jesus Christ! No rush, but when you're ready, I have a coin toss. Who? 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 I am not logged in on Twitch. Let's go. I am not logged in on Twitch. Let's go. Don't make me choose between two people, you freak. Just choose one. I'm always gonna choose Kudiko. If you... Wasn't sure Final Fantasy 14 would be spoilers. Oh, that's fair. But if you give me Kudiko as an option, I'm always going to Kudiko, sorry. I know what I'm about, son. They were streaming Final Fantasy 11, they might have had a chance. So true. I like how it just says uptime is like nobody, or is like nothing on anybody. Like, no, I don't believe that. I don't believe that people haven't been streaming. There she is. There she is. Alright, let's go see Kuriko. Let's go see Kuriko and think about how we're definitely gonna play the Paranormal Activity game together and I'm gonna fucking die. Thanks for the Chungus raid, so true! Yeah, we're gonna play the Paranormal Activity game and I'm gonna die on camera. Yeah, thank you guys for coming. I'm gonna go eat dinner and I'll download and install the rest of these demos and we'll play them sometime this week. Yeah, thank you guys for coming. I hope you have a good rest of your night or your morning, your afternoon, or whatever it is, wherever you are. And Otsu, woo! Who's Otsu PAX? Otsu Flashlight.